Hello. I guess I feel like speaking today. Seen incidents that just went down in Papua New Guinea. Uh, I think that's the name, right? East of Indonesia, right? Um, there's some black men there, and I'll clip the video at the end, right? The locals of that land, right? And they have recently just shot down a helicopter, not a helicopter, an aircraft, I think containing 6 people or 7. I don't know if that number includes the pilot or not. Um, they shot it down and executed the American pilot on the scene. Not everyone were of casualty, to my remembrance, and I believe that the ones not of casualty were allowed their life, right? However, the American pilot, he did not die in the crash, but he were executed on the spot. So, to give a description of these men, right? These are the locals, definitely African descended, look more like you and I. Definitely darker in complexion than I, for reasons why, right? So anyhow, um, they give a message, and for a little bit of background, this is I guess you call a rebel group, but I'm going to call them a freedom fighter, right? Um, and it is, they have been having conflict with America, with Indonesia, right? Um, as of recent. Now there is extended history further back, I think including the Dutch or somebody, I don't know, whichever, right? Before transfer of, how do you say, I guess occupancy to that of America, right? And America is working alongside with Indonesia. Indonesia is working alongside America for the resources and plundering of Papua New Guinea, right? These black people and their territory. So these honorable, because I'm going to call them honorable men, um, of African descent, they could have just did as they done and let it be of mystery, right? But no, they give the time, they give the date, and they give the exact execution that they carried out. There is a rank system. They are organized, and they deal with the means plausible today, right? And they did as any man should do, right? And protect it. Okay. Um, this is part of a sort of reconnaissance, right? Mission uh, with America alongside the Indonesians into their territory, uh, for mapping of resource and other things, right? And these people are completely excluded inside of their homeland, right? And marginalized. So in this video, um, the highest ranking, it is he and some of his men around him, and they tell, again, they give the accounts of what occurred and why, and they basically say, for retaliation, do not affect the civilians. You know where we are. You know where to find us. Come for we only, if you wish to retaliate. Um, and for the recovery of your pilot, your American pilot body, um, you know, said location will be done. Do not bring military. Blah 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 blah. So I mean, these honorable men um, serve, protect, right? Their people, their land, their culture, right? Their ancestry, right? Um, and gave roots, right? Gave well diplomat, right? To how to go forward with this situation that has just occurred, right? Because clearly there's been conflict and you know sometimes conflict is, right? And because as men, we know the dynamics of this world, the full dynamics of, right? There's this saying that God only protects children and fools, right? And most men do not have the luxury of being fools, right? And so we understand the battles of life, the push, the pulls of life, right? So in my observation here, what I think shall be done, because not to always think, oh, what's wrong, right? But to even have a strategic and analytical mind, right? Because this sort of thing is not new, right? There's governments around the world that are put in place that are actual mafias, right? They are in place and in power and cannot be removed because they are in works with other governments around the world. The whole world works together, right? I think America, for that of strategic interest, right? Maybe these men organized, instead of the execution of these honoraries, perhaps strike a deal. I think these are men worthy and competent, right? To life. So that's my resolve. That maybe America comes and maybe we can get some sort of developments, right? Because I'm aware that not anything is all good or all bad. And if well relations can be developed, then they should be. And I wish for not the further bloodshed of any man. That is all for this segment. I'm going to bring another video speaking on the Middle East and how that is developing and what I think America's position should probably be now. Okay, peace.
Airstrip.
Hari ini, hari Kamis.
Today on Thursday, July 2nd, 2026, my soldiers and I shot down and burned a plane and shot the pilot. This is all me and my troops. If you want to find us, find us. Do not comb through civilians.
Saya dan saya punya pasukan yang bikin.
The rebel group claimed that the aircraft was carrying Indonesian troops, but Indonesia's military rejected that claim. According to the armed forces, all 7 passengers were indigenous Papuan civilians, including 3 women. They survived the attack without injury. The dispute has only deepened questions about what really happened in Papua's remote highlands. The rebels then released a video to reinforce their message. Armed men carrying rifles and axes stood beneath the Morning Star flag, the symbol of Papuan independence. And in the video, the group warned both the Indonesian and US governments.
Kita boleh cari kita. Yan, pengisiran ke masyarakat.
Police and the military must not go to Safan and Ninian districts. If you want to evacuate the pilot's body, then the president, the Yahakimo Regent Didymus Yahuli, and the chief of parliament must come by themselves. Evacuate his body without the military and the police.
Kapatid aku mau Didymus Yahuli.
As the rebels celebrated, Indonesian forces moved in. The military confirmed that Captain Gosselin's body has now been recovered during a special rapid seizure operation. Security forces have also launched a manhunt for those responsible for the shooting and the arson. Pilots have now been warned to avoid what the military calls the red zones of West Papua.
Pada hari ini